viewers, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my favorite Mexican dishes, Chile Rellenos. We recently took a trip to Mexico and I was so inspired by the trip that I wanted to make my own Chile Rellenos. If you've never had Chile Rellenos before, it's basically a stuffed chili pepper. Let me show you how to make them.
All right, everyone, so this is a poblano pepper. These peppers have a waxy skin coating on them. So the first step to making these is by putting them in the oven on broil high. So we're going to blister the skin so that we can pull it off easily. So after about 5 minutes, you're going to want to pull them out and flip them over so that all the sides are going to be in the broiler. And you can tell when it's ready when you see the skin like blistering and separating from the pepper. That's what we want. So after broiling for 5 minutes on each side, you're going to take the foil and you're going to basically just peel it back and over there and covering the peppers completely so that as the peppers cool down, the steam will continue to cook the peppers. While that is cooling, I have a pan. This is going to be where we're going to make our filling. So I have some onions and I have some diced tomatoes. We're going to saute that for, 5-10 minutes until they're nice and tender, translucent. And we're going to add our cheese. So I'm using Oaxaca cheese. I think this is the best cheese to use for this recipe, but it can be kind of hard to find sometimes. If you can't find that, you can always use cheddar or Monterey Jack or any kind of Mexican blend is fine. So you add it to the pan with the tomatoes and the onions and you let it melt down. This does not take long at all. You can do it like turn off the stove and let the heat just melt it down. You can also add any type of seasonings you want here, like oregano or any kind of Mexican taco seasoning. So our peppers are ready to be peeled. And as you can see, this should be a very easy peeling process. It should just kind of just come off easily on its own. This is actually one of the most satisfying steps for me is just by peeling off that skin. I don't know why, but it's just so much fun. I can do this like all day. All right, so next you're going to use your knife to put a little slit down the middle of your chili pepper. Try not to make them too big because they will fall apart if you make it too big. These will have seeds in them, so if you don't like your food spicy, remove the seeds. If you like your food spicy, keep some of the seeds. So you're just going to stuff the cheese into your pepper very carefully. And you're going to need maybe one or two toothpicks to close off your pepper. Um, Now, I used a lot of cheese in this recipe. I don't recommend using this much cheese. I just fill it so that it closes easily. All right, so I have a bowl here and I'm taking about 4 or 5 eggs and I'm separating the egg whites from the egg yolks. Now, you're going to need a mixer for this. You're going to want to mix this on high. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to form a very fluffy cloud of foam. Now, it will seem like it's taking forever when you're doing this, just warning you. But after about 5 minutes of mixing, you'll start to see this foam form. You're going to add the egg yolks back in one at a time. Now, this is a very important note. Make sure that you do this with cold eggs. Repeat, make sure you do this with cold eggs because if you try to do this on room temperature eggs, it will not work. Trust me, I tried it and I failed miserably. All right, so this is the goal of what you want it to look like. Now, you're going to want to prepare your pan with oil. This is where we're gonna fry our chilies, and you want to have a plate set aside with some flour on it. You can use all-purpose flour. Now, take your chilies and you're going to want to cover them in the flour. Now, this flour is very important because this is what is going to let the egg mixture stick to our pepper when it fries. So get that all covered, and then you're going to dip it into your egg mixture. Now, here's a tip. You can use the stem of the pepper to dip it. It'll make it a little less messy. However, this is a messy recipe, so you will be getting a little dirty. So after you dip it, add it to your pan and let it fry. And I'm going to do the same thing with my other pepper. All right, so you're going to want to keep your eyes on these as they're frying. It really does not take very long, less than 5 minutes for them to cook. You'll just flip them over for about 3 minutes each side, and then you'll remove them and plate them. Now, chili rellenos usually have a tomato sauce on the top of them. However, if you don't have time, you don't want to make a tomato sauce, you can top it with salsa. This is absolutely one of my favorite recipes to make. It is a little labor intensive, but it's totally worth it. I definitely recommend it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video. Let me know if you give this recipe a try and if you have any questions. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.